That's cool.
We did some grocery shopping because we've got birthday parties this weekend. Of course, birthdays were earlier this week, but we've got
Right.
high schoolers over today making noise upstairs, so I apologize for that if you hear it. And then tomorrow is extended family, so it's like back-to-back party days, and the fucking week is just tiring me out. But I am ready.
Right on. Okay. Does anyone want to recap what we did last session? You guys want me to, or do we want to just hop right into new things?
Let's see. Hang on, I gotta go through. I gotta go back through everything that Axel was commenting last time. Didn't you? I thought you, Max, just put a little note saying like, "Oh, this is where we were." Was that on the dice box?
I did.
I must
It's somewhere. Yeah, it's
I've
way
lost
up
it.
here somewhere.
Yeah, Axel just spammed.
I mean, I can sum it up if you want.
Well, I just wanted to get Mac left off at the intersection, deciding where to go or go back to the cafeteria. Yeah, Mike, go ahead, give it your best shot.
Well, basically, we started off as a ragtag group of 3 instead of a whole crew in a spaceship that's held together by shit and tape.
Yep, that's accurate.
Yeah. And we received message from, I believe, various planets requesting aid in stabilizing the situation of a platform that is descending on an inhabited area. I'm imagining the planet. And for that, we have salvage rights. So we decide to head over to that said platform to see if we could not only help the people there, being the good Samaritans that we potentially are, but to also see if we can make some money. Upon reaching there, we decide to take the safe option and board through the back part of the descending platform. I'm gonna keep calling it platform until I'm told otherwise.
Station? Space station?
Space station. Right, yeah. Space station. I wasn't sure if it was a space station or just some kind of like platform.
It's a platform
And-
like in StarCraft when they have the base building out in space, and it's just like
Right,
this flat platform floating in space for no reason.
So we decide to go in through the safe way, and once we exit our poop ship, we get extremely disoriented by an unknown force that I believe focused on our hearing capabilities. And after a time, it passed away, and we recovered enough to continue the attempt of searching the space station. We are heading towards navigation until we decided to explore some of the rooms where we found various papers that would crumble away at just a mere touch, to find that things that should not be there are there, such as a postcard from Larry's home planet, or clothes that, remarkably, are being worn immediately by our friend. Crap.
Johnny
This is what
Washy.
Johnny Washy.
Johnny Washy. This is what I get for not opening up the other window. So we find these things, and our navigation expert Billie decides that he wants to find his own thing, but unfortunately he can't find it either. So he's feeling left out. So we continue on our exploration and reach a cafeteria with an android who very unhelpfully explains that he's been doing service for a few months already with nobody coming to visit. And we decide that after exploring the back kitchen and finding a grisly scene, that we should probably come back to see if we can eat something in 30 minutes. And in order to pass the time, we go and check out the what was it that you called it, Max?
Security
I'm not
station?
sure what you're looking for.
Emergency station.
Yeah,
the
emergency station.
terminals.
Yeah, we decided to go check out the emergency terminals to see if we could learn anything more detail about the space station that the android was unable to reveal. And when we got there, we were able to hijack the information through the use of some key card that we got in one of the rooms that we explored in order to reveal some maps that we could download and to see some backlog communication between the members of the crew that were working on the space station, where we found that it was a harried situation at the end and they couldn't complete their messages.
Mm.
That's when Billy decided that it would be a great idea to not only download the maps while Johnny was trying to draw them down.
Yeah, I didn't check for firewalls or shit. I was just like,
No,
plug that
we
shit
just
in.
Plug that shit in and then pull it back out. And in the means, broke our only functional terminal because the other one was broken. And that is when we decided we should probably go back and eat something that probably is not going to be good for us.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go check out the cafeteria. That's right. Hey, that's very, very thorough. Thank you, Mike. I was thinking like we found a station and we're on it. that was very
both
descriptive.
would have been technically accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have.
I could always just cut it down like that next time.
I just want to read really quick what notes I wrote down right at the very end. The first was that in being in the emergency terminal, we learned that if there are any survivors, they went to Sector A in Ring something. We don't know if it's Ring 1 or Ring 2, or A or B or whatever. And then I've downloaded a map of the station. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, because I realized when I re-listened to the recording from what we did last time that I completely forgot about this. Max said to keep track of your failed saves. I'm pretty sure when I listened to everything I have 2 failed saves, but I just wanted to remind everybody, if you aren't already doing it, make sure you're keeping track, because I completely forgot.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
Yeah. I think I have 2. And so the rule was, if I'm not mistaken, Max, every 5 you get to reduce one of your saves at your
One
choice?
save.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it 5 of the same one that you fail, or just 5?
Nope. Any 5
Total.
failures lets you lower 1 save of your choice by 1, so it gets a little easier.
So, not to get too like behind the screen here, but is that the leveling up system, for lack of a better term, Max?
Yes, it is.
That's pretty genius in its simplicity. I really like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, unless anybody else has anything to add, I am ready.
Only that whether or not you want me to do that detailed of a recap in the future or
Oh,
not.
fuck yeah, dude. Lay it all on us. That's useful. That's very useful. I would like to hear, the next time you do a recap, I want to hear you start at the Big Bang.
At the Big Bang. Okay, yeah, sure. I got that. I'll include dinosaurs.
Yep.
I'll include space whales.
I want to
everything.
hear about
I will,
primordial Earth.
yeah. I will send you a full history of everything that has happened between the present in
do
our
it.
time and the present in-game time.
Oh yes,
So you can get all those details.
dude. We got lore. There's lore. Let's learn the lore.
Yeah. Why even bother with the
Freaking
game?
lore
I'm gonna
nerds
be
right
there
here.
reading all the lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right, Tanom. We should just start a lore podcast where we pretend we're going to play a game, but every episode of the podcast is just recapping the entire history of everything.
Recap 99.9.
I'm guessing.
Lore and a lore pit of another lore.
Yeah, I'm guessing between the 4 of us, we probably have at least like 3 or 4 dozen fantasy or sci-fi universes in our head that we could just start talking lore about, and we could all just each one of us could just take a week and just expound upon the lore for our given bullshit
probably.
universe.
Yeah, we each get 1 season to
Yeah,
just go off.
exactly right.
I'll take winner.
Okay, so my world has elves, but they're not tall; they're short.
And they sound like Scots.
Yeah. just to really what's the word?
Grind the gears.
Yeah, just to subvert your expectations.
Does it have tall dwarfs then?
It does. They're racially they're dwarves, but they're like 8 feet tall.
They also live in trees.
There's
good.
three dwarfs. Gotta watch out for them, they're sneaky.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna head back to the cafeteria, is that correct?
Yeah. You know,
that
see
sounds
what this rotten chicken or whatever it was gets served up.
I was just about to message. Revamp.
Oh,
Let's see.
I'm assuming that this section at the bottom is given to the tabletop group, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Max, I wanted to mention really quick. Are we supposed to have access to the behind the screen thread channel?
You're the only one who does because you're the host of the entire server.
Oh, should I not?
Just see everywhere. So
I wonder if I can
just pretend you don't see anything in
Okay.
there.
You know what I'll do? I'll just
there's
mute
no
it.
spoilers right now, so you are safe.
Okay. I will mute it for now, and then if you ever enter something in there, I won't even know that it's there.
Sounds good. Okay. Message is sent. I'm good to go. You guys have collected all of your belongings from the now, sparking terminal and are making your way back to the... Well, not even really making your way. It's right there on the corner of the hallway you guys are on. Make your way back into the cafeteria, where you see the same intensely bright lights from behind the wall that separates the dining area from the kitchen, and seemingly, I use seemingly a lot. I realized last time. I'm going to try and not do that as much. Where you don't see the android anymore. They are not in this room.
Ah.
I'll go poke my head in the kitchen and see if he's in there.
Alright. Hello.
Welcome.
Revamp?
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you.
Hey, what do we call you? Just
Oh, just Drew, it's fine.
Alright.
You're welcome to also speak whenever, man. However long you're gonna be staying.
Yeah, don't at all feel like you're intruding. We're happy to have you.
Cool.
So you were putting your ear to something, Harry?
Oh, I was gonna poke my head in the kitchen and see if the android is in there.
Alright, Jonny, you walk up to the door in the back of the room and push it open, and indeed, the android is there with 2 plates in one hand and pulling one out of an oven with the other. You have the same horrible scent in the entire kitchen that you did last time. Just that deep, deep smell of rotten meat.
Nothing.
And from where you are, you can see only one of those plates has any meat on it, but all 3 of them are like fully steaming as though they were just completely, boiling water or something to produce that much steam.
Oh, yeah. Well, I might just leave him to do his stuff and I don't know, go sit at one of the tables in the seating area. And
Alright.
See what he does.
Okay.
I'll join Johnny since he's just sitting down.
yeah, seeing that neither one of my companions have been shredded by a angry android, I'm gonna go sit at the table too.
Alright. 3 of you seat yourselves at one table, and the android quickly comes back out from the kitchen into the dining area with those 3 plates, 2 empty, 1 with this pile of basically black sludge. And seeing as you're the first three to come to tonight's dinner service, it just makes straight for the table you're at and sets down those 3 plates in front of you and spins on its heel to go back into the kitchen for more.
Can we? Can I tell what this black sludge is?
Gross, definitely. You
Okay.
can give a roll to see if you can identify what exactly it was.
Okay. I'm guessing I would roll against my acumen, which would be 2d10 plus 2. I gotta
Sure
remember
thing.
that it's an abbreviation, not roll.
Yeah. Exclamation point R.
Right.
And then, yeah, there you go.
Results
A
10.
You, being Billy Belly the pilot, you're used to wretched smells.
Disgusting.
You're not as put off from this. You're able to sort of lean in and eye it up and down, and you can see what looks like a chicken drumstick bone in there underneath all this just goo.
Okay. It does smell repellent though, right?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Okay. Can I stir it around?
Oh, don't do
You
that.
definitely can if you want.
I just want to see what I mean, I feel like we're being set up for like Android grinds up people and serves them. But if there's obviously a chicken bone in there, then maybe he's legit like cooking some shit. He's just bad at it.
It's just the food's gone
Mhm.
off. The fridge isn't working.
Oh yeah. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Can I just want to stir it around and see if that reveals anything else.
Sure, you either, take your hand or whatever sort of
Just my hand.
implements you've got on you,
Yep.
and just as soon as you put your
ungloved hand.
finger in, the sludge looks like it should be really runny and watery, but when you put your finger in it, it's like stiff, like jello.
Ugh.
And so you go to stir, and you barely even get started when you see this big gas bubble start to get up in the middle of it. And it's slow, so if any of you with a nose that functions wants to get up and move, you can. But if
I'm
you stay at
moving,
the
I'm
table,
moving.
Yeah, I'm
leaning so
going
far
to
away.
the other side of the corner, far
It-
away from this as possible.
I actually put my face closer to it as it bursts.
you get splattered with this hot but not like burning sludge, and you can see even in the not so great light of this cafeteria, the air inside of that bubble is blackened and draws up to the ceiling.
Wow. Okay.
Even for you, Billy, that is a noxious odor.
Okay.
You get like
Well-
a shiver down your back.
Yeah. I think I'm realizing that I made a mistake in not getting up and moving away, and I'm wondering. I'm looking at the faces of my companions and trying to judge what it is that they're thinking about all of this.
I clamp down my nose with one hand pretty hard and withdraw one of my many grease wipes from my pocket and try to hand it to him to see if he'll actually have the wherewithal to wipe himself down.
Larry, you pull your hand up to your nose as quick as you can, but even with the speed you go at it, you get just this hint of the smell, and it almost drives you to gag. You pull out one of these sheets. Yeah, it's in your sinus. It lingers for a little bit. It's terrible.
It's like horseradish.
You hand off one of these grease rags, these grease wipes to Billy.
What's my friend Jonny Washy doing at the moment?
I'm just in the corner, just like dry reaching it, and just put your finger in there. I smell that fridge, man.
Okay, I'll accept
Rank.
I'm gonna accept the wipe from Larry. I'm gonna wipe my face very thoroughly with it, and then I
Yeah.
fold up the wipe and stick it in my back pocket.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Given your station as the ship pilot, you're probably used to just doing these like rag baths rather than going and showering. So
Yeah.
you get the most you can out of this thing, and then
Well,
you fold
here's
it up
the-
nice and neat to use it later too.
Yeah, exactly right.
Here's my question though.
I keep
Is it-
used Kleenexes in my waistband.
Isn't it the old saying that your shit doesn't smell as bad as other people's shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody thinks their shit don't stink.
So it's probably gonna be worse for him.
True. Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
yeah,
'Cause
you're used to your stink.
That's
This is a
right.
new stink.
I think we could probably assume though that my olfactory senses are either
just completely burned out.
Yeah, it's basically like a meth head. Like I've been doing the olfactory equivalent of meth for decades now, and I have no nerve endings left that can actually register anything.
Yeah, if you visited a doctor in the near future, they would be astounded that you have a nose at all at this point.
I'd be a test case.
New study shows humans only need eyes and mouth. Nose irrelevant. No, not even. You wouldn't be in a study. You'd be on the cover of the magazine.
I would.
Meet the man who got rid of his
Yep.
nose.
They'd be like, this is changing science more than anything since Einstein.
It's just a scientific journal, just with Billie on the front.
Mm-hmm.
As the three of you are reacting variously to this horrible smell, the android comes out from the kitchen again with a couple more plates, completely ignores you, and just starts setting them on tables, seemingly like just in order of closest from the kitchen to furthest.
And the plates have the same black sludge on them?
Some of them do. Most of them are dirty, but not, like filled. Like they were used once and haven't been washed, but don't actually have a serving of food on them. Food used very loosely there.
And he's not. He's just going about his business. We're not addressing him or anything. He wouldn't respond to us.
I'm still.
Oh, well,
busy
you
trying
could
to
try and
breathe.
interact with him, but unless one of you steps up to them, they're just seemingly on like a very strict program back and forth.
I guess. I mean, I think that I should know this based on our last conversation with him, so I apologize for not remembering it. But we asked some kind of equivalent question of like, when's the last time you saw somebody alive or something? But I guess my question that I would have right now is, how many people came to the last meal? Or is this just a program that it enacts no matter how many, like whether there people are there or not, it just goes through the motions?
You ask this question to the android, and not stopping its pace, but just turning its head to follow you as it walks. It says, the usual service is an average of 60 well-fed. It wouldn't say customers, but I can't think of the word.
Yeah.
I guess crew would say crew.
Yeah.
The last service had a total of 74 servings served.
74? Meaning consumed?
No, I think it's just how many.
Just put on the table.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you guys think?
I think I need to get out of here.
I
Yeah.
was thinking get out of here, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else here, other than it just serving up this foul sludge and.
I don't want chicken no more.
You'll never eat poultry again.
Mm-mm.
I can't look at things with wings anymore.
Okay, so let's get out into the hallway and then regroup and figure out where we want to go next.
Yeah.
I march out to the hallway with one hand on my nose, attempting to soothe my olfactory senses,
Mm-hmm.
while the other reaches down for my wrench.
You pull out your trusted wrench, and as you exit out of the cafe, even though the smell is now gone, the memory of it will be with you always.
I am haunted.
But yeah, you step out into the hallway. Seems as though nothing changed in the brief time you were in the cafeteria.
Okay. So, you guys, I've got this downloaded map. Do we want to figure out where we go next? There was an intersection at the last emergency station. We could try going out down one of those corridors, or we could move toward one of the rings.
I think try and go towards one of the rings and try and find if we can find any of those survivors on ring. Well, is it on sector A, but we don't know what ring.
Right.
And there's 2 rings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should probably go at least check out what Sector A has for us.
Yeah.
All right.
Hope it's not a trap.
So you march back down the hallway to that intersection with the 2 now broken emergency terminals, and other than the way you just came, there are 3 directions to go: straight on, left, or right. The left and right hallways are very marginally smaller, and the one straight on maintains the size of the one you're currently in.
Can you remind me what the lighting situation is again?
Most of the lights here are broken. You guys have flashlights or electric lanterns on you,
Right.
which is supplying most of it, but every so often one sparks to life briefly or even stays on for a little bit of time.
And those side passages, are they the outer ring, or is just passage in the station?
It seems like it's a passage in the station, but whether it would lead to the rings or not, you can't tell.
Do we want to check that map that you downloaded there, Billie? And
Yeah.
see if we can work out what way to go.
Does the map, does it work like a GPS where the map knows where we are on the map, or are we having to orient ourselves as we move?
It does not
Okay.
show you where you are.
Is there, on our map, is it clear that from where we docked, is it clear that there would be any hallways, intersections like this prior to the rings?
No, it seems like this would probably be the first one.
Okay.
Well, I always like to go left, so let's go left.
I'm in favor.
Might
Okay.
as well.
And we have our weapons at the ready, not necessarily pointed at anything, right? But we have them
Yeah.
off the shoulder or
Have
off,
them out,
out of
yeah.
the holster, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The 3 of you turn to your left, past the one previously functioning emergency terminal, to a long, almost completely dark hallway. There's a little bit of ambient light from something. Excuse me, my neighbor is on their lawn with their motorcycle, revving the shit out of it.
That's okay.
I can't hear it.
We can just pretend
Well,
like there's
distracting.
a weird engine behind some wall that we can hear.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it, but it's just distracting to me.
Can't hear it, but yes, that's fine.
Okay. But yeah, you walk down this hallway for a ways. It seems like there are a few more like offices or barracks or something. But then eventually this hallway is blank. There are no doors, no nothing, just these repeating plain white panels. And then eventually those panels open up to windows to the outside.
Can we see any other craft out the windows, or is it just the empty void of space?
You look out, and it seems like there are a few dots that might be crafts that are, pretty distant. Or they might be stars. It's sort of hard to tell unless they're significantly closer.
Can we see any other parts of the station from the windows?
From these windows, yeah, you would probably be able to see the first ring from where you are, actually. You see this, now that you're on the ship, the perspective has shifted. You see these long tendrils reaching out to this distant circle around the entire thing, slowly turning, along with plenty of, debris and like wires that were previously inside and at some point were stripped down and just sort of dangle and float as this thing turns.
So does that mean, based on what we're seeing, does that mean we are not currently in one of the rings?
Yeah, it seems like you're in the... I fucking said it again. You guys are in, like, the sort of main shaft of the station, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like, it's a long pole with those 2 rings around it and then a cap on the end.
Yeah.
So you're somewhere along that pole. Probably close to the middle-ish.
Alright. Seems like we've got a bit of walking still to do then.
I am really quick just going to pin the image you posted, Max, that had the drawing of the station on it.
Yeah, I got that up. It helps me try and think about it.
So does that mean that where we docked was not on the main shaft, because we've turned a 90-degree angle since we docked?
You did. You docked sort of near the tail end of it.
Okay.
And you've marched along it. It is a large station.
Yeah.
Even, the thinnest part of the shaft might have had enough space for like 2 layers or 1 layer and, like inner workings, sort of
Right.
raw pipes and wires sort of area.
Okay. Okay, well, it seems you guys we're not heading to, or rather, if we continue going the direction we're going, we're not going to reach the ring? Is that accurate? Or is it clear that if we keep going, we will eventually reach the nearest ring?
You could try and make a roll on the map, see if you can, maneuver out where you are and where you're going.
Okay, I'm the one with the map, but if somebody else wants to roll, I'm happy to let somebody else roll. I don't feel strongly about it.
You guys can look over Billie's shoulders and read it for yourselves.
Let's all roll then.
Yeah.
Roll
Yeah, sure.
10
Go ahead.
dice.
Let's see. I'm gonna say
Everyone's scrambling over the same map. You guys are just on a long road trip now.
Yeah.
Oops, I forgot to leave a space. Damn it.
What would it be to find out where we are on the map?
I'm
I would
using
imagine
acumen.
All right.
Was that acumen?
Yeah,
I imagine
acumen
so.
or maybe caution. I think both.
Oh
would
yeah,
work.
that's a good point.
I'll use acumen. Slightly
Alright.
better at that one.
21!
Hey,
Damn,
look at
21.
Don't worry, guys. I know
Johnny
where
looks
we're
at this
going.
map and just immediately knows everything.
It's that meme with equations floating in the air around his head. and shit.
Yeah, the person just looking back and forth. Yeah, the other 2 of you are looking at this map like, are you sure it's rotated right? And Johnny just sort of grabs it from behind you, turns it, and then points immediately to where you guys are. And so it looks like the intersection you guys were at was the first one you would reach on basically just one long hallway at the start of this thing from the tail end. If you had continued going straight, you would have made it to a walking path to just strut over to one of the rings, but the path you're on now leads to a ferry that would shuttle you out to the ring.
Do you want to see if this ferry is working?
Well, you're the dude who knows where the fuck he's going, so sure. Well done, Officer
Alright.
Washy.
Alright. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, let's go check out this ferry and see if it's still there or if it's been, I don't know.
I'm
broken.
sorry. This is a tangent, but I was just thinking about that. So we got the pilot who just poops away all day in his seat. We got an officer called Officer Washy, and it's the offboarder that's the janitor.
Yep.
It would be too on the nose if Washy did the washing. Come on.
Right?
That's so obvious. Anyone who visited your ship would just know it immediately.
In fact, I
You shouldn't
imagine
even
that
guess
in
it.
Johnny's career, he's been so concerned about being typecast as somebody who does washing that he's like adamantly opposed to the idea, just on principle.
When he was at the military academy, like the very first chore he was given was to mop the floors, and he adamantly refused. No, I'll do anything else, sir. All right. As y'all keep walking, Johnny having perfectly memorized the area of the map you guys are in, there are there are a couple more rooms that are gonna be up ahead of you guys, but you'll have to march a little bit more to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else looking? Okay.
As we're walking along the corridor, I look over at Johnny. And I'm like, so why were you even trying to draw that?
I didn't want to plug something into the computer. I don't have anything else.
He's got a photographic memory and a geographic mind, and he's like drawing pencil and paper maps. That's funny.
The map's useful. That's why I can show it to you guys too.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
yeah.
Right.
I think
You have to-
Johnny is the parent here and was drawing that to entertain the kids.
That's right. You have to be able to plan for the weakest link of your party. That's a good point.
Johnny was gonna hand you a pack of crayons too, just in case.
Oh.
All right, as you all continue marching down this hallway, eventually the windows stop and you get one last glimpse of all the many dots and distant planets outside before it returns to those blank white, dirty panels again. And then eventually you're met with just a single door, this time not, one on both sides of the hallway. And it seems, I keep saying it, another one a little past this one.
Okay. So the doorway that we're encountering is only on one side. It's not. We haven't reached the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay.
And much like the cafeteria, it is a larger, double door, not the slightly smaller ones that the offices seem to have.
Yeah. Is it open like the cafeteria door was, or is it closed?
This one's closed.
No markings?
Nope. Not a sign in sight.
Hey, Officer Washy.
Yeah.
Do you remember from the map, was the ferry at the end of this corridor, or was it one of the doorways off of the corridor?
It was at the end.
Okay. Do you think it's worth it to check this room out?
Yeah. Yeah, see if it's more of the same, or if it's something different.
Yeah.
If it's more officers, then we'll just keep going and just whatever. But if it's a different room, maybe it's got some different stuff in it.
Okay. Billie's going to take up a position at the side of one of the doors with the revolver pointed toward the ground, but ready. Just kind of a flanking position, I guess, or I'm not sure what you'd call it. I'm not
I'll go stand on the other side of the door, opposite
Alright.
Billie.
There is a hand panel on both sides that probably operates this door. So you guys are sort of both situated on either side of those. Larry, what about you?
I'll go ahead and handle opening the door so that they can be free.
Okay. You step around either one of them on either side and put your hand on the panel, and it blinks to life. And these two doors just slide open seamlessly. There's no, grinding of gears or rust. This one seems to have been pretty well maintained. And as it opens, the hallway is flooded with bright again, but not quite blinding light. And you look into a room of greenery. There's a single small path leading into the room, and on either side of it is all this foliage and plants, bushes, big leafy shrubs.
Is it, can we tell if it's set up like a conservatory, or is it set up like a farming space, like a garden space? Is it recreational, or is it food produced?
There are a
Can you
couple
tell?
benches in there.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like crops. It's more like a public space, kind of.
Yeah,
Okay.
looks like.
And the
Oh, when you say benches, you mean like a seat, not like a. I was thinking of a like a kitchen bench.
Oh no, yeah, like just
Yeah,
these
what-
long, flat, seats for 2 or 3 people to sit on.
like a park bench.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look Johnny in the eye, and if he doesn't give me a cautious look, I'm going to step in and see if I can get an idea of whether or not there's anybody in here, or if there's anything of note in the room.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. I'll go in too. As long as
Okay.
you don't see anyone from the door.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You
Alright.
sort of peek around the corner. Seems like it's empty. I'm still saying scenes.
It's all right. I mean, yeah. Give us only the information that we know. Even if you
Yeah.
have to use the same damn word over and over again, who cares?
But yeah, it seems like there's no one else in there. You don't hear anybody else.
Okay. Anything noteworthy about the plants themselves? Are they like species that we would recognize? Like, are they maple and elm and oak trees, or are they something weird and foreign looking?
Yeah, they're all familiar.
Okay.
They're all on the sort of smaller side, so they can fit in the room. The room itself, as you walk into it, you can see has basically these 2 larger square plots in the middle, and a little walkway of the same white panels that splits them, and then against the walls on any side is a small little plot as well.
Okay. And the ceiling here is the same height as like in the hallway, for example.
Yeah.
We're not dealing with like a larger.
And
Oh.
I'm gonna ask for an asphyxiation and poison save from everyone who walked in, please.
Ew.
Oh boy.
Okay. Asphyxiation and poison, or just asphyxiation?
It's the one save.
It's
Oh,
it's the
yeah, yeah.
same. They're tied to the same number.
Oh, okay. I think I just wrote down asphyxiation, and so I.
Oh yeah, that's all it's
No,
got
that's
on the
good.
sheet.
Yeah, you didn't write it down. I did.
Well, I actually like wrote my stats in front of me just in case I didn't have them on my monitor at a given time,
Oh, yeah.
because I got multiple things open.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I've forgotten. Saves are just 2d10. That's it. No modifiers, right?
No, you can add a modifier.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I would guess I'm gonna say
I
grit,
think,
Yeah.
which for me
Yeah,
is
I think-
none. So
caution and grit would both work pretty good here. 17. That looks like probably a pass anyway.
I'm looking at 8.
Oh no, right,
8!
Which is
oh
no,
my
yeah, you
god.
get over it.
Yeah, my asphyxiation is 11, so 17's a
Okay.
pass. You're the king of grit, Harry. How did that happen?
well, I rolled
Yeah,
a
the
3
plus
and a
4 is
1.
good, but
Oh, man.
4 rolls, unfortunately.
Hmm.
I used all my good rolls to memorize the maps, so now
You saved up that 10 and 9 for that one. In that case, Billy, as you walk in, you feel that pressure that had come into your ears the moment you opened the door to the station
Mhm.
pop. Both of your ears, burst as though you yawned after your flight had descended.
Mhm.
But Johnny, when you feel that same experience, you feel like someone has just hit you on the side of your head. You feel this slow liquid start pouring out of your ear and this intense ear pain, like the worst infection you've ever felt, like someone's jamming a screwdriver in there.
Ugh.
You drop
Oh
to
shit,
your knees,
Johnny!
hold your ear. Larry, you're running in to help him, or do you just exclaim?
No, I stay outside. 'cause I
Okay.
I was gonna say, am I
saw that happen.
I forget if we split up when we entered the room, but am I close enough to support him? Because if he gets down on one knee, I'm going to try. If I'm close enough, I'm going to try to get over to him, maybe like put an arm around him and get him out of the room, walk him out of the room.
Yeah, it's a small enough room that even if you were on, opposite ends, you could sprint to him in a couple of paces. So you grab Johnny, and you can see the side of their head that they're holding. Their hand is, covered with very dark blood.
Ugh.
So you
Ugh.
help them up, pull the two of you out of the room, and as you do, the door closes behind you, and that pressure comes back again. You can start hearing, like I've described already, your heartbeat in your chest just constantly.
Even though we're out of the room.
Yeah.
Wow.
When
And
they
what's-
make it out, I help support. Johnny. See if I can
All right.
stuff another grease rag into his ear.
You find the cleanest one you got, and you start helping wipe away blood, and the blood seems to stop flowing pretty quickly.
Larry, you're not feeling this?
No, I don't even know what happened to you two. I
Ugh.
just saw you go in there.
I mean, it felt like my ears popped, and then I turned around, and Johnny's almost on the floor with blood coming out of his ears.
My ears all good, or are they damaged now?
You've got the rag sort of mopping up blood on the one. The other one does sound fine though, and if you take the rag away and snap in your ear a few times, you can still hear.
Okay.
You feel a little sort of disoriented, a little nauseous.
Johnny, are you experiencing any other, your vision's not blurred, you don't have a headache or some weird shit? Otherwise you're functional?
I seem to be.
Yep.
I'm gonna rummage around in my pack and get out an actual bandage rather than this grease.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
rag.
you get a
and
strip of gauze and some medical tape.
actually put it up. Yeah, and I'll try and stand up.
All right. You stand up. Like I said, it feels a little vertigo-y, but you're able to get on your feet on your own.
All right. I might need a minute, guys, and then we should be good to go.
Yeah, I
No,
vote
no,
we
take
fuck
it
that
from
room.
me.
I don't like that
Yeah.
room. If the ferry's still ahead of us and we don't have to go back in that room, I vote we don't.
Yeah.
So what was it that
All right.
happened to you guys? Is it when we first got in here?
It felt like that, but for me it was just kind of some discomfort and then a pop.
Mm.
It
I
was
have to
way
say-
worse when we first docked, for me anyway.
If I have to think, it would be a change in pressure. This has got a much lower pressure than in that room, and without acclimatizing properly, it
So
was too much change in pressure, internal to external.
I don't know. Max, we are still experiencing the short radius for audio, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but Larry is not feeling that at all. It's just me and Johnny.
No, Larry would be feeling it as well.
Okay. How long did it take for that to subside last time? I forgot.
About 10 minutes or so. Not very long.
Okay. And while we're experiencing this, we don't necessarily it's weird and it's discomforting, but we don't necessarily feel like we're compromised. Would we be thinking holy shit, we need to stay put until this passes, or let's keep on moving, we can handle this?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it's far from
Okay.
debilitating.
Yeah, guys, I think we keep moving. I don't like that room at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should get going as soon as Johnny starts feeling better.
Yeah. I should be all right now. Just take it slow and keep going.
Right.
I think that map you memorized just came out of your ears.
Yeah.
It was such a savant moment that your brain just wrote prelapse or something.
You used all your neurons at once.
That's
and it wasn't
right.
ready for that.
That's right. The brightest candle burns out the quickest.
All right. Two of y'all. Or two, excuse me. The three of y'all continue down the hallway. There's another door, but it sounds like you guys are just walking past that to get to the ferry, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Fair enough. You guys reach the end of the hall, and there is another doorway. It doesn't seem like the hallway goes off in any directions, although there's probably, some vents or something if you really wanted to crawl around in there, but according to the map, this would be the door to the ferry.
Okay. Any indication that there doesn't seem to be any problem with the door? Like if we put our hand on the thing, it's going to open up. We're not going to be dealing with vacuum or anything like that.
Yeah. Everything seems in order. There is, like the gardens door you've just walked away from, a panel on either side. And this door is closed as well.
Okay. I'm imagining that if this ferry is there and it's intact, it's something that I would be able to pilot? Or is it not even needed to be piloted? Is it just automated? Or?
Yeah, on stations like this, most of the time, in your experience, it just, hit a button and it'll take you from one place to the other.
Got it. Okay. All right.
I move up and get ready to open the door when the other two are ready.
I would like I'd like our resident engineer to be the first set of eyes on this thing to make sure that he thinks it's functional.
I mean, we have to open the door first, right?
Well, yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm looking at you like, okay, come check this thing out.
All right. I open the door and look into the ferry.
As you walk up to the panel, Larry, before you even press it, you see under the door, around its, seams, there is this thick, dark liquid, which is obviously a pretty hefty puddle of blood.
Before I open the door, I say, guys, there's something wrong in this room. Looks like there's blood.
Is it dried blood or is it still wet? We can't tell.
I don't have much experience with large puddles of blood. Is the issue there.
You're the only one here, Max.
Hey,
The rest of us are pros. The rest of us are pros with large puddles of blood.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I genuinely don't know how this would work. But it seems like a large thing of blood that has sat here for a while. I don't know if it would totally dry or if there was enough of it, it would like sort of, I don't know, congeal and stay a little liquidy, but not fully wet.
So it's some aged
like
blood.
Is it still expanding?
No, it seems, steady on the floor where it is.
Pretty much all I wanted to know was, is it recent or has it been there for a while?
It's been a little bit.
It's been a while, yeah.
At least a few hours, possibly
you're an
days.
officer. Whether it's actual combat experience or just drills, you have experience with large amounts of blood. This has been here for some time.
Yeah.
I'm realizing that Johnny's the only one dealing with blood so far. There's that bloody kitchen, blood in his ear, blood in the door.
That's why it's Jonny Washy. They're not washing up after the rest of you. They're washing up the blood they come across.
His real last name is Smith. Everybody just calls him Washy because of the blood.
Is there any way to tell if there's a room on the other side, or does it go, is this go straight onto an airlock to the ferry, or...
I don't think we can tell that because the door's closed. The same as the...
I don't know if there's any windows or anything on the side to look out, or if it's just a door at the end of a hallway.
I'm going to... because I'm a pilot with very low caution, while my companions are trying to judge the blood and figure out what that means, I put my hand right on the panel and just open the door.
Okay. Johnny and Larry, the two of you are having a conversation by one of the panels talking about the blood, whether this door is safe to open, and before either of you come to a conclusion, you hear a little doo-doo, and you look on the other side of the door. You're on the right hand, and on the left hand side is Billie with their hand on a now green lit panel. And much slower than those garden doors open, this much wider pair of, double doors slowly starts to pull open, and you see immediately as it's just barely a crack open, a body falls backwards and it lands in this probably now thickened blood. It itself is a little damp, and as the door continues to open, there are two more on either side of it, and you can see there's a pile of maybe even as much as a dozen corpses leaned against the door.
Oh man, if we were in Roll20, there's a perfect thing for this. Let's see if I can find it.
If
Just keep going. Just keep going.
As I look up from the plethora of bodies on the floor, I just deadpan look at at Billie. Now, I don't say a word. I just stare at him.
I'm trying to get the image in my head and make sure it's correct. The bodies were leaning against the door when it opened, or at least one or two of them were?
Yeah, a few of them were, and so as the door opened, they just, fell backwards onto the floor.
Right. What would have been supporting them in that position? Because
they were like sat butt on the ground.
Okay.
Against the door.
I was thinking they were like standing against it. I'm like, how are they standing against the door? Got it. Okay. Yep.
Along with these corpses, a fitting red light streams out from this room.
Can we tell the source of the light?
Yep, in this room, which seems to be a small, waiting room for the ferry, are these two red lights on, either side of the room. Whether they're emergency lights, as in there is an emergency, or emergency lights like the power has gone out,
right.
You're not sure, but there are, normal lights that are off. In addition to the red lights, which are on.
We haven't stepped into the room yet, right?
You have not.
From where we are, is there anything that is identifiable about these bodies? Like, are there uniforms with name badges or insignia? Are their faces not, have they been disfigured in any way? Are we too far?
No, they're, right there. You could, kick one if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally at our feet.
Yeah. They are varied in dress and look, but they are all certainly human. And while they haven't been, disfigured or anything, they are aged,
Desiccated, maybe?
Yeah, wizened a little bit, but not, fully skeletal yet.
Okay. But nothing, no insignia or name badges or anything like that?
A couple of them wear, a doctor's jacket, big, long, white one, but no, it doesn't seem like they have name tags or, any sort of icon on it.
Is there a way that we can determine how they died?
There is definitely a lot of blood around them, which may be a strong hint.
Some kind of trauma.
You could look them over if you wanted to get them more clear.
Yeah, I want to know if they were
were they shot? Were they clawed to death? Yeah.
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 I understand the cause of death was lack of blood, but how the lack of blood came about.
In my expert opinion, the cause of death was they stopped living.
Failure to
give me a roll.
I will support that opinion in saying pretty sure that it wasn't asphyxiation.
Yeah, that seems unlikely.
So Harry, you're rolling to determine cause of death?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what that type of roll would be.
While he's doing that, I'll take a look into the room as well and see if the ferry itself is past the waiting room.
All right. You step over this line of bodies that separate the hallway from the room and look into this waiting area, and each side of it is almost all windows. So you can see out into space. You can see, from basically here, the edge of the side of the station. You can see up and down the whole thing, and you can see out along this single metal cord. There is the ferry, like, I don't know, a fifth of the way out or so. It's much closer to you than its destination, but it's not actually attached to the waiting area like you could step on right this minute.
Got it.
Mhm.
Really quick, I see Harry's roll result
Yeah.
before
17.
yeah, before
Okay.
before Jonny is able to make any determination of the cause of death. Billie just looks at all the bodies and said, "These guys are dead."
Thanks, genius.
Yes.
These people are fucking dead.
With that incredible wisdom pushing you to success, Jonny, you look up and down a few of these people, and a couple of them have slash marks on them, no, not seemingly. They definitely do have slash marks on them. But all of them have a couple of bullet holes.
Alright. So it looks like they were probably shot, which means
Are there any weapons on the floor? Like,
Let's find out. It is possible that there is. I'm gonna roll a d10 on an 8, 9, or 10. Hey, look at that.
damn.
Yeah, there are a couple of people who seem like they were some kind of guard or just Second Amendment enthusiasts, and so have, a small pistol on their hip or something.
Well, it's good to know that the U.S. survived this long.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay. Is it the firearms are like in their hands or near their bodies on the floor, or are in their holsters, or?
Either on the floor or in their holster.
Okay.
There's like 3 of these bodies are dressed up pretty much the same. They've got like suspenders and a sweater and like a skull cap. And probably a pair of fingerless gloves. And those are the 3 that have holsters on them. One of them has the gun in the holster. The other 2, it's on the ground, not too far from them.
So you said that when the door opened, there were 3 bodies that were sitting up against the door.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are kind of in a pile further into the room. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're all sort of on top of each other, stretching into the room a little.
Yeah. Is there anything about the 3 bodies by the door that would indicate why they were there versus in the pile?
Not at a first blush. They don't
Okay.
seem any like distinctions about
Yeah.
them.
Doesn't look like they were like injured survivors who bled out over time or something. Like,
No.
okay.
While they are examining the bodies, I'll see if there's a means to recall the ferry in case we decide to board it.
Indeed there is. Much like the door, there is a, panel on the left and right side. But unlike the door, both of them have been fully, ripped out, the wires pulled.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know if calling the ferry back would be the way to do it. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know. Gunshots make me think it was people, but what
You're
if...
too cautious, Washy. You gotta be balls to the wall like me.
Billie just goes and starts pressing on one of the panels, even though it's ripped out from its slot.
So I'm trying to fiddle with it and nothing's actually happening, and I'm turning to my offboarder and saying, "Is this something we can fix?"
Does it look like it could be fixed? You're
Oh,
practically
yeah.
punching on cords. All right, let me take a look at it.
Okay.
I crouch
Are you
down.
coming? Yeah.
I
Take
crouch
a
down
look up and down at it as Billy is holding half of the panel up for you to look. And while a couple of the wires were like either pulled out of their spot or fully severed, it is not unfixable. It would take a little bit of time, but definitely could be done.
What is Johnny was the one who was expressing hesitation. What are you doing right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to just get my head around what might have happened if they got shot. It makes me think there's people. If the ferry is like launched and then the panel destroyed, it makes me think whoever it was maybe is on the ferry. Like they managed to send it out.
Yeah, I mean I can.
And
oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
like, and it's trapped there. If we fix it and call it back,
Right.
maybe whatever's on that ferry is going to come back. Because some of them had claw marks, right? Which I don't know. Well, I don't know if the people who were shooting, they just ran in like blind-fired, they didn't care. Like, there's this another thing, or if it's people like came out on the ferry or whatever, shot everyone, they somehow managed to like close it and send it off. And then I don't know, one of them was like last breath, like pulled the panels off or shot them or
presumably the ferry has been out in mid-transit as long as these people have been dead, right? So, I mean, what are we afraid we're dealing with here? Is it some kind of like, if it's a living thing, it's got to be dead too, right? It hasn't had food or water or fresh air or whatever. I'm thinking.
Well, you two go ahead and decide now if we want to take the ferry or not, because if we do, it's going to take me time to fix this. If not, we can just go ahead and start heading back.
I mean, I'm in favor, but Washy's the officer. If he says bad idea, I'll go along.
Yeah. Part of me wants to find out what's on it, but part of me doesn't.
Is it clear? Can we see from where we are how far distant the other terminal is?
What do you
said
mean?
It's like you said the ferry is like a third of the way or a fifth of the way between the two terminals, right?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay. And we can't see any, like the ferry doesn't have windows that we can see into from here.
It looks like it does, but it's too distant to make out any real detail.
So
you're looking through this thick wall of glass on your side, and then the ferry also seems like it's got pretty thick glass, so everything in it looks a little grayed out, distorted, and there's not any lights on it, so it's hard to really see any shapes in it.
I have an idea that I want to throw at you guys, and you tell me if this is allowable or not. But remember when we first talked about what kind of equipment we would have, and I said, can I just like have one or two things and reserve the right to add more later if it makes sense? I'm thinking it'd be reasonable if I'm a pilot and we're flying a janky-ass ship that I shit in the cockpit of all the time. Maybe some of my instruments are beat up, worn down, less sensitive, and I might have something as archaic as like binoculars or spyglass or something. Does that sound reasonable?
I thought that's where you were going with it. Yeah, that sounds totally on to me.
Okay, so I'm going to add to my list of 5 things, in addition to my PDA and my service pistol, I'm going to say I've got binoculars.
Okay.
And I don't know where I'm keeping them, but they're on my person and not being a huge impediment to my regular movement, because binoculars are heavy as shit.
I was going to say, what could be more pilot than just constantly wearing them around your neck? No, yeah, you've got them safe somewhere.
Okay, so with the binoculars, I'd like to try to see if I can pick out any detail on the ferry, and if there's any indication of either what's inside of it or whether the ferry itself has taken damage from something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead and give me a roll with whichever stat you think would fit, and go ahead and take advantage. Roll 3d10 and take the best 2 of them.
Damn. Okay, 3d10. I'll say this is going to be precision, I'm thinking.
Okay, makes sense.
I forget how to keep. What was the command for keep?
I don't remember either. I was just scrolling up to see it. I think it's KL1 at the end of everything else, so it'd be R2d10 plus
Plus
whatever
5 modifier.
space KL.
A-
Or pardon, no,
KL,
we-
that keeps the lowest,
K-
and
yeah,
D
sorry.
drops to the lowest. So D is to keep the highest.
So
if you're
I'll just say
rolling-
There you
DL
go.
to drop the lowest.
No, it's just D. Just D.
Oh, just D. So
Yeah.
I'll put that in and see if that's right.
It's D1.
Oh shit.
Because you want to drop the lowest. Well, you want to drop the lowest one, so yeah. But that's right.
For
That's
now,
easy
this
to
is
tell.
fine though, because I can see the individual rolls too, so that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm doing it again just to make sure that that works. Oh shit! Except I don't want
Yeah,
to.
so
I'm
that's-
going to use the first roll though. I don't want to use the second roll.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
kind of unfair. We'll just delete that message entirely.
Okay.
Okay.
Since your bonus there was a +1, so your total
Plus
would be 17, not 18, right?
Correct.
Okay. You put your binoculars like right against the glass, and then put your head against them, and aim at the ferry itself, and fiddle with it until everything is in proper focus. And even without any lights in it, you can start to make out what's inside. It seems like it's just a smallish, sort of trapezoid-shaped pod, big enough to fit like 20 people shoulder to shoulder. It's got 4 panels, 2 on one side, 2 on the other, for presumably opening the door when you reach your destination. And in the middle of it, against the far wall, if it was, connected to where you are, it looks like there's a figure, a silhouette. But without any light, it's hard to make out more detail than that.
Yeah, and it's not. The silhouette isn't moving. It's not in motion.
No.
Okay.
You sit there for a little bit to make sure, and it does not seem to move at all.
Yeah. So, you guys, it looks like there might be a figure on the ferry, but I can't make out what it would be or whether it's alive or dead. It's just a silhouette as far as I can see. Silhouette with no motion.
It's all of a person.
I can say that it looks, I don't know, humanoid-ish. It's a figure.
Humanoid?
It seems recognizable as a human figure. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't look like a cat or something.
But it
While
could
they're-
also be
while
like
they're,
a human-sized dinosaur or something. I don't know.
While they're discussing it, I'm gonna continue fiddling with the panel to see if I can at least cut down the time to work on it.
Yeah, you sort of pick it up and rearrange its positioning so that the wires aren't all crossed and twisted up, so you've got everything better organized if you end up wanting to work on it.
Right.
Sorry
well,
to interrupt the other two, y'all.
No, that's fine.
That's right. I don't know. Do we? What's the word? Do we sate our curiosity and bring it back, or do we play it cautious and just walk?
I want to bring it back, but like I said, if somebody vetoes, I will go along.
Well, since I'm the neutral one at the moment, I'll just go ahead and start working to bring it back.
I mean, I feel like we can we can walk into another room somewhere. We can have the weird fucking pressure thing and our ears bleed, and then we can run out of that room because it hurts. Or we can actually like take a risk and figure out what the fuck is going on here, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So I'm already
Alright, well-
working on getting it fixed,
Yeah.
right?
Larry, you can give me a roll as you start to put things together, and I don't know if the Offboarder has any particular bonus to that. If not, you're just, the one who can do it in the first place.
It says that I can repair any damage to a ship given the right supplies and time.
Oh, well, there you go. So the roll will just be how quick you can do it then. If you fail, you'll still be able to do it. It'll just take a little longer.
2d10 plus acumen.
Yep, sounds right.
11.
11. All right, it's a little complicated. There are, a lot of wires because you got to make sure the ferry works right. Otherwise, it could be pretty bad.
Haha.
But you are able to get not the panel working, but you are actually able to like hail the
Bypass it?
ferry.
Yeah.
So you can see it starts making its way back. You're gonna have to find a way to actually get the doors to open, but for now you've got it moving at least.
All right. I was planning to take the time to grab one of those guns, but instead I'll shift my focus to figuring out how I would open the doors when the ferry reached us.
Okay. And that was my next question. You are gonna have it keep moving towards y'all?
Right.
Okay.
That's what I want.
So
You want to keep an eye on it with your binoculars,
Oh.
there, Billy.
Yeah, good idea. If I can pick out anything as it gets closer.
Yeah.
Okay. I presume then you'll be rifled at the ready. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have my gun pointed at this door, ready for whatever is in there, unless Billy
Okay.
says he can see it, like clearly dead.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just want to note while I'm looking through the binoculars, up until, because I mean you can tell me what happens as we go, but up until maybe like the last 5 seconds when it appears that the ferry's going to reach us, I will put the binoculars away, run over to the doorway, and just kind of take a defensive position once we get to that point.
Sorry. Are you gonna look at it until it's close, or you're gonna
Right.
start looking at it when it's close?
No, I'm looking at it now, and then within like the last 5 seconds or so, when it seems like okay, it's going to be right here and the door's going to be open, I want to go take a defensive position.
I get you now. My brain heard defensive position. I thought you meant back into the hallway. That makes
Yeah.
far more sense.
Yeah, sorry, I'm jumping the gun a little
No,
bit.
that was totally my fault. So the both of you sort of, well, not the both of you yet. Jonny steps back and, like you said, pulls your rifle up. Billie, you keep your binoculars out as this thing slowly pulls towards you, and you can't hear anything, but you can feel, the weight of it on approach as whatever mechanism pulls it does its work.
So
As
the
it gets
ferry
closer,
just to interrupt, sorry. The ferry itself isn't powered. It's like got a, I guess, a tractor beam kind of thing on the actual station that's pulling the ferry itself. Or
yeah,
is it...
there's like this one cord. It's almost like a ski lift, and that cord is seemingly like wound back and forth
Oh, okay, so
enough
it's
that it can
mechanical.
pull the ferry in. Yeah.
It's mechanical. Okay. Good to know.
And Billie, as you stand there and look until it just gets close enough, you can start making out the details of this figure there. They are sat, slumped against the back wall, knees up, and they look like they've got something in both hands and are just head fully back against the wall, likely dead.
Yeah.
You can see they're sort of thin through the glass of this, room and the ferry. It's hard to see if they are just like a naturally thin person or if they are starting to dry up like the corpses were.
Yeah.
And
okay.
then the ferry is
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
almost up against, so you back up and pull out your revolver.
Okay. Do I have the time to tell them I think that whatever's in there is already dead?
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
the door can't open until I let it. So
Oh,
can't.
okay.
Yeah, and at this point, Larry, as you all hear the sort of chunk of this ferry sliding into place and docking with the station, you are able to access the workings of the panel and get it open when you want now.
Right. I go ahead and start opening the panel, and then once I'm ready to open the door, I look back to Billie and Jonny to see if they're ready.
Ready.
Okay. Takes a few more seconds. Both of them keep their spot. You look at each other, and Larry, you press the panel. There's this release as the ferry fully connects and starts opening the door, and the red light from the room you're in floods out now into this ferry and illuminates, indeed, another corpse. This one, the cause of death is not hard to determine. There is a single gunshot wound in their head and blood fully dried and browned on the back wall. They have a rifle of similar make to Johnny's in one hand and this large hunting knife in the other.
And there's nothing else on the ferry that we can see
There's
from
like a
where we are?
small artificial potted plant, but nothing, dramatic.
Doesn't
Yeah, it
look
seems like
like
there's just this person.
they, if they've got a rifle, probably didn't shoot themselves then instead of something else, like if they were stuck out there. I don't know. I don't know if you could shoot yourself with the right. I guess you could. Does it look like they shot themselves, or does it look like someone else shot them?
Yeah, it looks like it was self-inflicted.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that I was actually listening to the music while he was talking. I could hear like some animal breathing and walking in the background. I'm like, oh
That's
shit,
spooky.
yeah. While those two are looking into the room, I go ahead and take the time to grab one of those pistols that are on the floor and
Okay.
pocket it.
Yep.
What's this person wearing?
They are dressed similarly to the 3 dudes in that room with you who had the pistols, like sweater, jumpsuit looking thing,
Okay.
hat, fingerless gloves.
I'm gonna step onto the ferry with the intention of checking this person's pockets, just see if there's something identifiable, badge, wallet, something.
Okay. You step up to them. They keep their deathly stillness up until you put your hand on them, at which point the, desiccated chest cavity as the thing sort of gives, and the 2 arms fall down to the side. Maybe give you a shock, but, nothing happens. And you look through a couple of the pockets, you pull out another, ID card looking thing like the one you found.
Mm-hmm.
And several pieces of just ripped up scrap paper.
What's the name on the badge? Can I make it out?
There's only a first name given, and it is Edmund.
I'm gonna pocket that badge.
Okay.
I'll tell Johnny and Larry that I've found a badge. The guy's name is Edmund, and I'm just gonna stick it in my pocket.
All right.
Since I grabbed the gun from the floor, I'll head into the ferry and see what next step I would have to take in order to get it running.
All right. You walk in and look at the now 4 panels, like I said, 2 on either side. All of them have bullet holes in them. But they are all still, standing upright. They haven't been fully ripped out.
Alright. Would I be able to tell exactly which panel would allow, if it didn't have a hole going through it, the means to progress the ferry?
Given your work on the last one, it seems like they sort of all can serve that function.
Then I go ahead and remove the panel of the closest one and see if the wires and circuits inside are salvageable enough to be operational.
Well, with your skill, everything is salvageable enough.
Yeah.
But they do have quite a few holes blown through them. It's going to take definitely more time to fix this up than the last. But it is definitely doable.
Well, I can fix this. It's gonna take even longer than last time. So
Okay. I mean, we know that the panel in the room out there operates the ferry. Can you press a button, you get a 5-second delay, you hop onto the ferry, the door closes, and then we go anyway? Do you need to fix this end?
Well, I assume we'd need it so we can get out on the other side.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, we'll be just like this dude, like
Yeah.
Edmund here.
Yeah.
Good point.
I wanna have a look around just try and have a good comb over this ferry and have a look.
All right.
See if I can
Like I
find
said, it's
anything.
small. It's cramped like an elevator, so it doesn't take too long. I see
Yeah.
you're already going ahead and rolling, so yeah, go ahead and do that.
Well, while he does that, I'll go
Oh.
ahead and start working in case we do move on.
Okay. You get right to work, Larry. Johnny, seems
Damn,
like
Johnny.
this thing's empty.
Yeah.
You
Alright.
give it a look over, but every overlapping panel, all you can see is the lines of the map, burned forever in your memory.
Can't even see a body or blood anymore. Doesn't know what the fuck
Just
Johnny
the
talking
map.
about. What humanoid body were you talking about?
But yeah, there's a lot of other things going on. Seems like you're maybe distracted and you don't find anything else in here.
There's no other trauma on Edwin's body, just the bullet hole.
Just the bullet hole.
Okay. And he's sitting in a position that it appears like he sat himself in this position and shot himself, or maybe slid into this position after shooting himself. Doesn't look like he was it doesn't look like he was in duress when he did it, right? Like he's composed.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably just stuck out on the ferry then, if I had to guess. And he's like, well, rather than starving to death, it's
Yeah.
the quicker way.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if he had been fighting something, or maybe he was in pain and just decided to end his life quickly, or if it was like, oh, I'm gonna starve to death out here. Yeah. And the bullet holes.
Do you want to just keep using the ferry, or do you want to head back to the intersection?
Hey, Washy, that map that you've got imprinted on your eyeballs, is there another way to the ring than the ferry?
Yeah, if we could walk down that main corridor, I believe. And that would take us to it. But I think, depends how long it's going to take to fix this ferry up.
Well, it's going to take a bit. It's going to take a while. So,
yeah,
if we want to go, you might as well take the time and drag that corpse out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's take the ferry. We're here. We'll get it going. Why not? You spent the time to get it back.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'll get rid of that call. Let's put it on the rest of the call. Oh, actually, you said that you found a name badge on him, right, Billy?
Yeah, Edmund.
Yeah, I want to go check the other guys who had the guns and see if they've got any name badges too. I'll pull this guy out so we're not sitting in a room with a corpse in it for however long it takes the ferry to go.
Will do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll run over and check the other bodies. I'm not doing it very thoroughly though. I'm just kind of sloppily slipping a hand into a pocket, feeling nothing, and pulling it out. Just in a matter of minutes, I've got them all checked.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll, please.
Okay.
There's a lot of them here. There's, they're sort of on top of each other, so let's see if we're able to find any hidden goods they had on them.
I'm gonna roll against my caution, which is a -1.
I will say that Larry probably has the preferable job at the moment.
Yeah.
That's probably very true. Yeah, these ones are still bloody just because of how much there was. And with an 8, you look over them. Some of them do have standard wallets in them, but none of them have an ID.
Okay.
All the
are there any dinero bucks? Money in any of them?
I was gonna say, a couple of them have gift cards for places, some of which you've heard, some of which you've never heard of before. But they all have Monopoly money in place of actual cash.
Oh, it's like a company
it's
store.
All super
kind of
name branded,
okay,
company bucks type stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Stuff that they would just be able to use on the station, pretty much, like an internal currency.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not finding anything, you guys. Just some company store money.
All right. I'm actually gonna go grab some more water. so I might be back in a couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we're just past
All
the
right.
halfway point. Do we want to take a little 5-minute step away break?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. Back in a few.
Me as well.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome back.
Hey.
Thank you. I was trying to remember from last. Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry about that. Trying to remember from last session when we got the original distress signal. There was something about the station. I couldn't remember if the station was in motion and stopped, or was stopped and started moving. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's about to crash into like a planet, I think. So
Right. It's still moving. It just slowed down.
Slowed down. Okay.
yeah.
I can't remember when we got the distress signal, or the message, I guess it wasn't a distress signal. Was there an indication of how long? Because we figured out it's been, what, like approximately a little over 3 months that it's been derelict, or at least something like that, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't think the fax message said anything about a timetable of predicted landfall.
No.
I don't think it was like urgent. Like you need to get this done in like the next 24 hours, else it's gonna crash in. It's kind of
Right.
like you need to get this done in a reasonable amount of time. Don't just sit around and watch it
Yeah.
crash into a planet.
I guess I'm just kind of feeling like I'm trying to think about how. So the sender of the message, I wonder how much did they. It was a very brief message. I'm just wondering how much did they know about its condition, how long it had been derelict, because we've only found that out since we got on board.
Yeah, we didn't get any of that information other than I think we got it was that it was abandoned and it's just drifting through space.
Right.
It's going to continue on its course. It'll drift, like crash into a planet. So
Right.
we need to change its course.
Right, and that we had salvage rights on top of the payment for saving the
Yeah.
inhabitants of the planet.
So just as a character point here, I'm thinking that going forward, Billie is feeling like we've got enough mystery here. He's going to start leaning towards like being more in favor of finding some answers. So if it's like a, hey, should we do this or not do this? He's going to be like, fuck yeah, let's just do it and figure out what the fuck's going on here.
Yeah, try and actually work out what happened.
Yeah, I think the
longer just do the job we've been sent to do.
Yeah, the longer the exploration goes without returning any answers, he's going to be more and more like in favor of finding them at the risk of other things.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
I kind of figured that's what you were going with your character, anyways.
Yeah, just pressing buttons and doing shit without approval and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I also can see that being your normal way of gaming, anyways.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I want to find out what's going on, but I also don't want to blindly rush in. But,
of course. Yeah, and I think in our party that having characters with that dynamic will be good because we'll be forced to kind of reason our way through things and make a decision as a group rather than everybody agreeing with whatever we do.
Yeah, that's why I've been the mostly the deciding factor.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been waiting for see if you two agree, and if not, I'll decide based on what my character would think best.
Yeah, and I don't think Billie feels strongly enough about something that if somebody else just hard vetoed him, he wouldn't be like, fuck you, asshole, I'm doing it anyway, you know. But that's what he's going to be arguing for going forward is, like, let's just, if it's like, hey, do we really want to take the ferry across? Fuck yeah, we want to take the ferry across. Do we really want to open this door? Yeah, of course we want to open this door. Like,
sounds good.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We were just discussing character dynamics.
Which I can guarantee you, he was probably listening to that whole thing, anyways.
Yeah, but there,
Don't
there,
give away my secrets. Come
there
on.
wouldn't be any surprises. I don't think. It's not like I said like
I wasn't sitting here for the last like 5 minutes listening. I promise.
Sure you were.
No, I would never do something like that. Oh, excuse me, I'm stretching. Sorry. Okay.
I'm assuming that
Where
we
were
can
we?
just take off with me having repaired the ferry machine.
That sounds like a perfect place to step back in. Yeah.
Yep.
As we return, we have Billie empty-handed looking through these corpses, save for a few McBucks, basically. And Jonny, did you step out with Billie to look over these bodies, or are you still in the fair after you moved the corpse?
Yeah, I wanted to particularly look at the other ones with the guns to see if they had any ID on them.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll for that as well. Please.
A precision to see if I can find these.
13. What are you looking for? Are you looking for more IDs or?
Yeah, specifically looking for ID cards. I don't really care about the rest of the stuff. I just want to know if they've got ID, like the other guard or the other person who had the rifle.
Yeah. 2 of them do not, but one does. Unfortunately, despite being, in like a plastic sleeve, it's been sat here so long, the blood has gotten into it, and on the inside, past the plastic, it seems like this card was made out of paper, as it's absorbed a lot of it. It's made it hard to read. You can't make out the name that's on it, but some of the other, card part of it, I don't know what word I'm looking for here. Not like barcode, but the other bits besides the name are still a little there. So if you could still possibly use it as an ID on the station, that might be the case, but you can't make out like the human legible name and stuff.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what it was. If we've already got a card, but I don't really want to carry around a bloody one.
Fair, yeah.
So I might just leave it. I just wanted to know if we could work out who they were, or if they were on the one that you found, Billie. Does it have any extra details other than the name, or is it just?
I would have to pull it out and look at it, which I do right now.
You take it out. It's got, just in terms of words, it is just the first name, but much like I believe the last one you found, it has those 4 color bars at the bottom, left corner. There's red, blue, yellow, and green. On this one, the blue sort of sticks out a little bit, and then across the top, there's another blue bar all the way from left to right.
Okay.
Can I work out if the bloody one I've got has blue on it or not?
Yeah, it does as well.
Okay.
Can I want to look at Donna McCauley's badge again, and remind myself what color hers emphasized.
Hers is yellow.
Yeah, that's right. Yellow.
Okay. Yellow, and her badge helped us get into the manager-only part of the terminal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've got Edmund's badge here, which, if all of these are blue, I'm assuming that they would all have the same amount of access. So if we've got one of them, I'm figuring we're probably good, right?
Yeah. We got a yellow key card and a blue key card.
Yep. And there was red and green still?
Yep.
Okay.
One day, if you keep buying packs, you can collect them all.
Okay. Well, I'm.
But if we find a big one, we can make Captain Planet.
Yeah, that's right. Heart. I remember as a little kid watching Captain Planet and thinking, Hart was like the dumbest one.
It was the dumbest one. He was only purpose to that one was to make Captain Planet. That's
Mhm.
it.
Your whole job, bring in someone more important and cooler.
Yeah. I
You're
wish
the
that,
doorman.
like, I remember wishing as a kid, like, when they did, because they would all call it out, right, when they'd hold the ring up. And because all the kids were like, they were all excited. They were, what was it? It was like, water, right? Water, air. And then I always wanted the last guy to just be like, sound like disappointed that he would just be like, Heart. I got stuck with it. It's Heart. Let's get Captain Planet.
All right, Jonny, as you stand back up with this card in your hand, you flip it up and down to see if it's got the blue line, which it does, and so, seeing as it's soaked in blood, you discard it just in time for you to hear a click of the fairy humming to life.
There you go, guys.
Hey, that's my boy.
Alright.
Good work, Larry.
Let's go take this ferry, shall we?
Let's go get killed.
Did you guys find anything good?
No.
Nothing apart from the badge I found earlier.
Well, get in here. Let's get going.
Okay.
And I go ahead and get us going as soon as they get in.
Yep. The two others step on the ferry with you, Larry. Ha, good rhyme. You press two wires together, the door closes behind them, and you hear, the air pressurized seals and all that go off. And then slowly the station starts to move away from you as the ferry disembarks. You're able to, let go of the wire, and now it'll just do its thing. You stand back up with your companions, and you can see you're moving from about the middle-ish, like I said, straight on a path to this first larger ring.
Oh, I just have a quick question, and I meant to ask this last week, and I forgot about it. Where are we in this solar system? Like, is this the star a distant tiny dot? Is it like sun-sized? Are we closer than that? Like, how much light are we dealing with out in space right now?
This thing has just entered the solar system, so you guys are really far
way the fuck out there. Okay, got it.
But it's a big-ass star, so it makes up for it.
Okay.
It's the size that counts.
Yeah. It is far enough that it's basically just like a distant light, but it's a noticeably larger speck than all the other things.
Okay. So it looks like
it's got this deep red hue to it.
Yeah, just looks like an abnormally large star relative to like night sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything like as the ferry is moving, can we discern anything new about the station from this vantage point as our perspective changes?
I believe you had seen this before on your approach, but there is, as the ferry moves out to connect with this ring, you can see that hole in the side of it, which is on the art as well, with all those, wires coming out. What else? From the ferry, you guys could probably see towards the cap of it, that semicircle at the end. Not actually on the cap, but on the shaft where it connects, there are these portholes. They sort of look like, which seem to have a trail of smoke that leads to them, and sort of sprays out very distantly from the ship from there.
Okay, so actual constructed. It's not like they're not damage holes. They're actually part of the original design of the station, and there's smoke pouring out of them, or.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to tell. There's smoke sort of around them that leads out on these very loose trails, as the smoke sort of dissipates through space.
Gets into vacuum.
Through space.
Through space. Here in outer
Yeah.
space.
That's what my episode of the podcast will be on. The difference between space and space.
Space.
Space is far more important to modern travel, and it's something Einstein could never have come up with.
Yeah, it's
Plus, in
inconceivable.
space, and here's town.
Yes, absolutely.
While we're gazing at the scenery, I'll go ahead and take the time, since I finally have that time, to try to make sure that the gun I picked up is loaded and ready to go. And I'm thinking that since I'm an engineer, that it would be reasonable that I'm not that proficient with the gun.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna ask when we got the opportunity. Have you had any experiences with firearms in your past, or?
I would say no. But that's
Okay.
part of the reason why I went ahead and just grabbed a handgun instead of one of those rifles. And yeah, I would say that I have no actual experience other than watching vids and shit like that.
Yeah.
And my reloading of the gun is rather slow, I would say.
Okay.
Hey, Johnny, can you, like, spend 20 seconds just showing him how this shit works?
Yeah, I was about to ask if I can just give him some pointers and make sure he knows how to turn the safety off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which end to point at
After
things?
the three of you are done looking at the station, Johnny, you look at Larry, who has had the gun turned sideways, does have good, like, trigger discipline at least, is not threatening any of you with it, but is trying to decide which of these buttons ejects the magazine. And so you come over and, like, press one to help them out. And you give them
Oh.
the, brief ropes, like, okay, yeah, once it's out, you look at it this way so you can see how many bullets it's got in, and then you just put it back in with a little bit of force to make sure it's stuck. You give the rundown.
And they
Thanks
always
for
act
that.
like there's one in the chamber.
Yeah. Never point at something you're not willing to completely destroy, and then steps a little bit back.
I just imagine if Johnny said never pointed at anything you don't wish to destroy, and then Larry turns the gun and points it at Billy for just a second. just like he's
Walks from one side of the ferry to the other the entire time. He points it at you.
he's just contemplating for just a split second.
It's not a hate relationship. It's more like a love hate.
It's not love hate. There's two hate for every love. 2 parts to one. It's pretty good. So what are we looking at as far as how far are we from reaching the other end of this ski lift?
Not very long. The ferry moves on a pretty quick course. It'd be like 10 minutes or so.
Okay. I think between Johnny and me, we take our usual precautionary positions, waiting for the ferry to dock.
Yeah.
Okay. Most of the ferry is like, open glass window. The lower, about waist high, is like an actual metal thing. So if you want it to be hidden, you could duck behind that. If not,
Ooh.
the both of you just sort of, take up.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Your
say
usual
I
sides.
get about 90% of my body behind that, and just have my
Yeah.
eyes peering around.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
crouch down.
All right.
I'll take one of the further corners and take a crouch and feel more comfortable with the wrench at the moment.
All right. Let me get stealth checks all around, please. And Pam, I believe the pilot gets something for that, I think.
The pilot has.
think.
Hang on, let me refresh myself. You roll 3d10 when escaping or hiding, and take the highest 2.
All right. You are certainly hiding, so go ahead and do that.
I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but there's the kids above me are like, it sounds like they're playing a fucking basketball game on my floor above me. So apologies
I
if you
heard
can
it
hear
a
that.
little bit ago, but
Yeah.
I'm not hearing it right now.
No,
I think-
I didn't hear anything.
I think Discord's sound gate is high enough that it's not really registering, but I know if you listen to the recording I'm making in OBS afterwards, you will definitely hear it.
I can hear
Oh,
something
that's fine.
beeping now, like a microwave or something.
Yeah. I think I can only hear it when you're talking, and so Discord is, picking up your voice, obviously, and the background noise, but it's not loud enough to activate it on its own yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of the recording, I think it's safe to go ahead and say that it shouldn't be a problem
Publish?
to upload these. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking.
I haven't really heard anything that was like, oh shit, we really shouldn't.
Well, yeah, my biggest concern was just that we would continue to do it. I didn't want to upload a thing and then, we never got back to it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
gang.
just one episode.
Yeah, because once you start publishing it, you're going to get an audience, even if it's small, and I don't want people to be like, hey, what the ever happened to that thing?
Well, of course.
Yep.
This is completely up to you.
So, no, I'm just saying, to me...
I don't think it's going to be an issue as far as what content we're providing.
To me, 2 sessions in a row is evidence that we can make this work. So, my idea was when this is all done, I will, I'll probably just record a short little 2-minute intro where I talk about what we're doing and who I'm doing it with, and then I'll publish that first one and this one. And
sounds good.
It'll be a thing.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Yeah, and I'll keep trying to get us all like scheduled like every 2 weeks, and if not, we try the weekend after that, continuing until we do meet up and all that.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
That works for me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know I'm rolling.
It was a
You
3d10.
stealthed it.
Yeah.
Plus your caution.
Okay, I'm gonna say my modifier is caution, and then I'm dropping 1. I hope that works.
Oof.
4? Fucking hell!
Wow.
3d10 didn't help me at all.
The 3 of you take different corners to crouch down here. Unfortunately, as the ferry finally reaches the other end, there seems to be some like mechanical fuckery, and so it lurches right before it finally docks, and it throws all of you off balance, and so you're scrambling to pick yourselves together as you hear the hiss of the ferry connecting and then adjusting its pressure to the rest of the ship.
Well, fuck.
Well, that's my second fail.
Was that technically that was technically a save, correct?
No, that was a check.
Oh, okay.
Just a roll.
Okay.
Never mind.
Harry, did you, when you failed your ear bleeding save, did you mark that down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I marked that down. Yeah.
Good. So you're here. You look out from your ferry into what looks like a similar waiting room, but this one has no lights, not even the red ones that seem like they come on, when something happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks mostly the same shape. Do you open the door or do anything before you step off?
I'm going to ask if it's reasonable that a pilot might have... I'm just thinking... well, I guess I'll ask this question. Our lanterns will be able to illuminate the space when we open the door?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was just thinking maybe it'd be handy if I had some glow sticks and I could just throw a glow stick in there that would illuminate the space. But if our lanterns are going to work, I won't bother.
Okay.
I'm in favor of opening this door.
Yes, well, we're not going to very far without opening it, so...
Yeah, I'd rather not go back to the waiting room full of bodies again.
We've recovered our balance from the lurch at docking.
Yes, you have.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and open the door then.
All right. Press your hand to the panel you've spent the time fixing, and the ferry glides open, and the light from your lantern is less obscured now as the, glass panels of the door open up and reveal, indeed, a room much like the waiting room on the opposite end. Notably lacking bodies this time around.
Are we sure, Jonny, that map in your brain that literally took years off your life, are we on the ring now?
Yeah, I believe we are.
This
So,
docking station is the one of the first ring that we could reach.
Yeah.
Yep. If you guys look back, this room is mostly windows, much like the last one was. So you can see you guys are now rotating along this ring. And you can actually see the ferry sort of leaves you as, if it was connected to the ring itself, it would get all wound up.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected to this like outer frame that connects the ferry to one of probably several rooms, lets you guys off, and then readjusts its position so it doesn't damage the wire it's connected to and all.
So just a logistical question so I can understand what we're doing here. The ring is rotating, so is our direction of gravity changing then? Are we is centrifugal force pushing us out toward the ring?
Gravity works in such a manner as to keep things normal for you guys.
Okay, so our orientation hasn't changed.
Your down is still down, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
I just want to take a moment that I really appreciate the detail that you took on how the ring works in separation from the ferry.
Thank you.
Because that does make sense, considering that the station is moving one way and the ring is going a different way.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it. I'm charging into this room. I don't give a shit.
All right. You step
Balls
off
to the wall,
ferry
baby!
into this waiting room. Dark except for your lantern. And as you step up, you see this like TV screen panel in the wall next to you blink to life. And it shines this white light that matches your lantern for a second before it takes on the, old-fashioned black and green computer background. And this couple of lines sort of start to spread from the right side of the screen to the left. And it might take you a second or two to figure out what it is, but Jonny, in his all-knowingness, recognizes it as another map of the ship. With one added detail, however, this one does not lack the "you are here" like the last one did. This one, in fact, has a path written on it that seems to be eerily similar, if not exactly, the one you guys have taken so far.
Oh shit.
That is so fucking good, dude. That is so good. Wow. Okay. Like including our little trip into the cafeteria, including the offices that we went into, including the corridor we turned down, like all of that?
Yep. You can see right from the start on the tail end of the ship on this map, there's a little lift, and then it goes down a long hallway. It goes into one room and comes back out, goes to an intersection, stands there for a second, and then goes, the direction you guys went. It looks like down on this map, but left from where you guys were.
Yes.
So it's a line.
This,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All of this sort of spreads out, like I said, from right to left, and you hear this little ticking as the lines for both the walls of the map and the trail you guys have left expand. And then once it finally reaches the left side of the screen, the map sort of sheer shifts, and so goes from looking like a flat 2D image to isometric, and you see multiple different levels of maps appear underneath it.
Oh, wow.
This is just a screen. It's not a terminal of any kind.
Nope, just a screen.
Jonny? What do you make of that?
Well, it looks like this map is either more, what's the word, like, smart, I guess, to be able to track people.
Yeah. I kind of feel like the station is smarter than we thought.
Yeah.
Is the I'm not asking our DM this. I'm asking my companions this. Is the fucked up pressure and audio shit? Is that the station moving us? Is that the station like disincentivizing us from going places?
Are you asking me if the station's alive?
I'm asking everybody. I'm like, what are we dealing with here? This thing it's got, I don't know how the fuck it has this, but it's able to manifest shit that is personally identifiable with at least Larry and Jonny. And it, maybe not it, but something is causing literal like physiological reactions in us that is controlling our movements, essentially. You know, maybe not controlling, but like forcing, you know,
Yeah.
pushing us in different directions. What are we
Yeah.
dealing with here?
All I know is that no computer should be able to just track a specific individual like this and provide this kind of information with low power like this.
What I think it'd be reasonable at this point that I'm checking my clothes to make sure I don't have like a bug or something on me. How is it tracking this?
All right, yeah. You're able to, you know, look through your clothing in as much detail as you want. It is totally normal, exactly the same as when you stepped off of your own ship. Save, obviously, the stuff you've pocketed that you intended to take.
Right. Is there any... So the map that we're looking at, it doesn't... it's only tracked us to this point. The line isn't continuing in some other direction that... Like, it's not guiding us somewhere, is it?
Nope, it stops in this ferry waiting room.
Do we know which sector of the ring we're in?
I don't think that is labeled on the map, but you could look around, see if there's perhaps some kind of signage finally.
Well, I guess so logistically speaking, the waiting room that we're in, if we step out of this waiting room, we will be in... Well, I guess we don't know that because the door's not open.
Yeah. Let's go through the door. I reckon go through the door, check if there's any sector writing on the ring, you know, if it says sector A or sector B or whatever. I reckon we walk like 100 meters down down the corridor, turn around and come back and see if this map updates.
That's a good idea, dude. I like that. Okay, wait. What if... hang on. What if we... Because I think Billie's suspicious that something's fucked up. I mean, obviously something's fucked up, but I think Billie doesn't like that he's being tracked like this, and I want us, if it's possible to do so, I want one of us to walk down the corridor and follow Johnny's suggestion and come back and see if the map changes, and then I want to try it with the other two of us individually and see, like, is one of us the one that it's tracking, or is it the party? Like, what's happening here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Try to isolate it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound like a good idea, Billy.
All right, I'm going to go first. You guys wait here. I'm going to... Wait, we have to open a door, though, right?
Yeah. That's all. Yeah. So we'll open up the door and get out and...
Assuming it's, like, not crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you guys press the panel that opens the door from this waiting room to the hallway to the, rest of the ring. And this hallway is pretty brief. It only runs a couple of feet before it hits a much wider hallway that goes left to right.
Shit, okay.
The two of you in the room watching the screen, I would like a check from both of y'all, a roll to see if you guys can spot any differences on this. Please.
I will do a precision roll.
All right.
Yeah, and in the meantime, I just run down the corridor in one direction, like 100 meters. I'm not making any turns or anything, and then I'm turning around and coming right back.
Okay. Harry, do you want to roll as well, or are you just gonna... take a...
Yeah. Yeah,
alright,
I'll have a look.
go right ahead.
Oh, I always type in D20 to roll. It's like 2D and then I type in 20.
I threw you off.
Yeah.
I like a good different dice system. That's always nice. I think Variax's tabletop game, he only rolled D10 for everything, I think, which was kind of fun.
Ah.
Yeah. Not that I'm comparing, Max, of course, but
I trust the work stands on its own. Thank you.
it does stand on its own. It's very good.
Thank you. With a 13 and an 18 between you, Jonny, it's hard for you to see, but Larry is able to point out to you. The line does move, but it moves not seemingly in line with how far Billie goes. Like Billie said, they go about 100 meters or so.
Mm-hmm.
The line looks like it goes less than half that, assuming the scale of the map is correct, which it looks like it is.
Okay. So I get back to the room, and I want to know from you guys, so tell me what happened.
Ooh, 1 second, my
Oh,
friend.
I'm sorry.
Hem, as Billie runs out, not too far down the hallway, but, to turn the corner, far enough that you can't make visual contact with
Yep.
your companions.
Oh shit, what did I do?
You make it all the way down as far as you want to go. You pass by a couple, rooms, no windows, so you can't see what's in them. But as you turn around to start making it the other way, you hear this very loud creaking. Like, it sounds like it's immediately behind you when you turn.
Oh shit! I just got goosebumps.
And I'm in an unlit corridor with just my lantern, right?
Yeah.
Dude, this might have been the dumbest idea I've ever had. If I stop and turn around, can I determine the source of the sound?
You can make a roll to see if you can identify anything, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna roll...
It sounded close enough that it's within, the bounds of your lantern, so
Okay.
no disadvantage or anything to look out into the
Yep.
darkness of the rest of the hall.
I'm gonna say caution just because I'm imagining that I'm a little bit panicked when I heard that sound. It probably freaked the fuck out of me.
Makes sense.
God damn.
An 8? You turn around and pull your lantern from your hip and hold it up so you can see better, but you don't see anything. You are alone in this completely derelict hall. There's not even, the first hall you guys were in, like I said, was, sort of double wide, and it had those dead plant potters in between.
Mm-hmm.
This has that, but there's not even anything in the plant potters. It's just like a block of metal or plastic separating this hallway every so often.
Yeah. And this
even
is...
though it's a small detail... Sorry, go ahead.
No. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Even though it's a small detail, a small change, just that lack of plant life that used to be alive, a sign that things used to happen here, feels eerie. Like in that hallway with those plants, at least you knew people were here, but here you turn around after hearing that noise and it just feels emptier than empty. But you can identify, out of all of that, the noise wasn't just behind you, it was definitely up. And you hear another creak, this one much more distant and echoey.
Oh, like it's gotten further away. Okay. Just as a quick, a visual aid, if we're on the ring, does this hallway is curved perceptibly?
Yeah, it would be.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure I was actually
probably. I don't know if you'd be able to tell within the bounds of your lantern, but with how far you ran, you would definitely see it's got a slight right curve to it. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure we were actually in the ring and not in some kind of straight corridor.
Fuckery zone. No,
well, yeah, or like a straight corridor that's attached to the ring but isn't actually there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
above me. Well, if I haven't already shit my pants since I left the cockpit, I just did, and I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run back to the room, And
All right.
before Jonny or Larry can even tell me what the map did, I am going to panic and just tell them, like, holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck, I heard a thing. There's a thing out in the hallway. I don't think either one of us should go back out there.
Wait, what thing did you see? Something?
I heard a thing. There was a creaking sound, and it was right behind me. I swear to God, it was right behind me. And then I heard it again, but it seemed further away. I couldn't see anything. I don't care what this map does at this point. I'm not going out in that hallway again by myself, and I don't advise you do either.
All right. How far away from you did you hear this creaking? Do you reckon?
The first time I heard it, I swore it was right behind me.
Okay, because on this map, this line doesn't go as far as you went.
While Johnny's doing his description, I'm looking out into the corridor just to be sure.
Do you think it's averaging our movements? Like, if I didn't go if the line didn't go as far as I went, do you think it's picking whatever the fuck it is? Do you think it's picking like a midpoint between all three of our positions, and that's what it's mapping?
Possibly, or I wonder if it's that thing that you heard instead.
Like, that's the thing doing the tracking? It's been tracking us?
That's the thing that this map is tracking, and it's been following us this whole time.
Oh!
Well, if it was, then wouldn't the line still be going? No.
Yeah,
Well,
it should still be, I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends if it's...
Did the thing that made the noise double back when Johnny came back?
I don't know.
Not Johnny, when Billie came back. I'm Johnny.
I have no idea. I mean, you guys haven't heard anything up to this point, right? This is the first time we've heard a thing that wasn't that stupid android, right?
Yeah.
No, I heard footsteps before that.
Yeah.
Which
I
we
wasn't
thought
sure
that
what it
was the android, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
What I heard was not footsteps; it was a creaking sound. This
Just
was
real
new.
quick, Larry, as you stepped out into the hallway to look up and down, you do hear noise, but it just sounds like the distant creaking of an empty space station.
I don't know what you heard, Billy, but I don't hear anything unusual.
I mean, if you guys still want to,
say,
if you still want to run this
sorry.
experiment, go ahead. But I am not going out in that hallway by myself. I'll still we're on the ring. Let's fucking figure this shit out. But
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere by myself from this point on.
I'm not walking out of here by myself.
Yeah, I think we should stick together. I reckon as a group, we walk down to how far that you went, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
We stop and see if we can hear that noise again or not.
And then come back and see what the map does.
Yeah.
Agree. Yep. I've got the pistol out, and I am itching to shoot something.
Shaking a little bit this time as you raise it.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm definitely at the ready with my rifle.
All right.
I don't know if you're gonna use your gun, Larry, or if you're gonna have your wrench out.
No, I think how nervous that Billy is appearing to be, I think it's reasonable to say that I'm not even close to confident to using a gun at the moment.
Okay.
He's just gonna Freeman it.
All right. So sorry, one more time. What's the plan? All three of you are
I think
stepping out together. this time, yeah?
all three of us are gonna repeat the route that I took and
Okay.
see. The goal being see if we can hear the noise, and then come back and see what the map does.
All right.
Yeah.
The three of you bundle up as close as you can be to each other, and slowly, or at least maybe as close as you can stand to be to Billie.
We're like Shaggy and Scooby. All of a sudden, we're just like
Yeah.
clinging onto each other.
Like,
Zoinks!
Wait, so am I
Roll.
Velma in this situation?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I vote we're all Daphne.
we are. We're all just hot bitches. Yep.
Yeah, you know that's true. We are.
Mhm.
But I was gonna say
where,
this to.
where is Axel
okay.
when you need him?
I know.
True.
We're missing
Said they were
out.
gonna try and make it, and they got a job or whatever. but
Yeah.
that's what I have to say about that.
Uh,
But I was going to say this to just Larry as you peeked out in the hallway, but now as you all go together, as soon as you step away from the ferry and into this empty, entirely dark hallway, you all get this like deep anxiety, like that feeling when you were a kid and you had to turn the lights off downstairs and run upstairs.
When I was a kid,
Just
dude, I still get that.
yeah.
Well, true.
I'm
I do
feeling
as
that
well.
right now.
Yeah, you all get that feeling that, like, just beyond your vision, there is something in addition to you three. But, pulling together as much nerve as the three of you have collectively, you make it down the hallway a little bit again, turn around, all of you waiting to hear a noise that this time does not come, and make it back to the screen in safety. And this time the line has gone fully to where it would look like you guys stopped, and then returns back to this room.
We didn't hear that same noise at that
Nope.
same spot.
Okay, listen to me, you assholes. I swear to God, that was a real thing that I heard. Don't give me those fucking looks. It happened.
No, I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of creeped out at the moment. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, I don't know about you guys, but I think there's something out there.
Yeah, I definitely think we're not alone.
Okay, so I feel like it's pretty clear that the station is tracking all three of us and is aggregating our position, right? Or I don't. Maybe it's not the station, but something, whatever is in control of this map, knows where all of us are at any one time and is averaging out the position because it only moved to follow us to our true position when all three of us moved together.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems to make sense. It's tracking us as a group
Okay.
rather than individual. I don't want to split up and look for clues.
No.
So
Larry, is there, based on what you've seen of the station so far, is there any way to reestablish the lights?
The lights itself, I think I would need to.
Like, it's everything's like sparking and damaged, right? Like, this isn't a thing where we could, if we found a master switch and we flipped it, suddenly everything would be light.
Well, I don't think that I'd be able to do it from one central location. I think that each quarter would have a maintenance panel for me to have to
Isolated.
even try to
Yeah.
get each quarter to work correctly. That doesn't even account to each light bulb being faulty or not.
Right. All right,
I mean, there is power going through the station already. That's why there's even light at the moment anyways.
yeah, that's true. That's why the map was working. I mean, unless we want to get back on the ferry. We still haven't found any markers telling us what sector of this ring we're in, have we?
No, we
You don't
haven't
know.
looked at it now.
Can the map tell us what sector we're in?
No, Max said that the map itself doesn't say. We have
Just
to
a
look at it.
line, yeah.
Yeah, we have to look for a symbol somewhere.
Okay, we gotta. I think we gotta figure out where we are in this ring and find sector A if that's possible.
Yeah.
Hoping this is the right ring.
yeah, because man, if it's not this ring, we gotta get to the next one. Oh boy,
Can
I'm not prepared for that.
If we have to walk around this entire goddamn ring and it's not the right ring.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, if we hear some freaky shit, if we're feeling our oats, we check it out. If not, we run like hell. I don't know. Max, was the sound I heard a mechanical one? You said it was a creaking sound.
Yeah, it sounded like when you step on a board in an old house.
Oh,
Metally on a space station.
Yeah, a haunted sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There's
We got
ghosts on this damn
haunted
ship.
sounds.
And we haven't. So our the weird pressure and audio thing that has dissipated since the last time we had it, and we haven't had it since, right?
Yeah, it feels like you guys have adjusted, but you can still, like I described last session, hear like your innards.
Yeah.
Like the acoustics in everywhere you've been have been so odd that you can like hear your heartbeat even at rest. If you move quickly enough, you can like hear your stomach slosh around, that kind of stuff. But it no longer hurts or anything like that. Certainly not.
Larry, has there been anything that you've noticed since we started that would make tracking us to this degree be possible? You haven't noticed like security cameras or infrared sensors or some shit, right? You're the like, as an engineer, you would notice this kind of shit if it existed.
Out of character, I would think it'd be safe to say that, considering the technology that we've seen, that such a thing wouldn't be possible.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, because it was like 20-year-old tech, wasn't it, on this ship?
I mean, it's like Alien, right? Like we're dealing with, not analog, but like mother type computers, right?
Yeah, that's the impression I've been getting for the technology.
Yeah.
So I would say that for my character knowledge, it would be reasonable to say that there is no such kind
That's
of
not a
technology.
thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there is you're completely right, Tanom. There is no computer you guys have experienced that could on its own keep track of something live like that and draw a picture of it. It would need some kind of human operator, and
Right.
even then it would be a very intense system to manage.
Right. Okay. Then I say no. I don't think there's any kind of possible way that the computer of the station could be tracking us, let alone even with the human doing it for it, because there's not enough power to even allow that kind of possibility.
Okay, so here's what's freaking the fuck out of me right now is we are clearly being tracked. What's doing it? And I forgot. I seriously had another thought and I already forgot what it was. Shit. What's doing it is the first question.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm out of ideas. Like, I have no clue.
So
I think at the moment the only option we have is to just go forward.
just keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
If we go back, it's just us wasting our time.
Yeah, I guess I'm just asking my off-boarder, like our off-boarder. It feels like the station is tracking us and moving us in certain directions, but you're saying that in your experience, that kind of thing is just not a thing.
I'm telling you, a station, a computer, nothing technologically could be doing this right now.
All right, fuck it. Do we go in the direction of the noise that we heard, or do we go in the other direction? Or the noise that I heard, rather. Or do we go in the other direction?
Well, the other direction's back to the ferry.
Oh, no. I'm thinking, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I'm thinking that when we step out of this room, the corridor goes left and right, or just one direction?
I think it was just.
Yep, it goes both ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like we're stepping out into the ring and it goes in both directions around.
Yeah, from the room you guys are in right now, the like ferry waiting room, there's a hallway that goes, not more than 20 feet, and then it reaches a T intersection that does go left and right.
Okay, yeah.
And that's
right,
the big main sort of hallway.
I think at this point, so Billie has had a few minutes to calm his nerves down, and his heart rate has dropped below 120. And I think he's thinking we can go all the way around the ring the other way, or we can go back toward that sound. I think there's a part of him that's like, I still think these motherfuckers don't believe me that I heard something. So I think I'm going to try to persuade us to go in the direction of the sound that I heard.
All right.
It's up to y'all whether we do it or not.
I've got no better or worse way to go. So if you want to follow the sound, we'll follow the sound.
Well, then if Johnny's fine with it, let's go check out the boogeyman.
Okay. The other two of you fall behind Billy as he sort of leads you in the way of points the direction that the sound came from. Whether you three space out or stay sort of one in front, two in the back, however you organize yourselves, you start making your way down this hall.
Now, I would say that I'm staying relatively in between the two.
This corridor is as wide or less wide than the main one that we came down when we first docked?
If it's smaller, it's in like the order of 1 foot.
Okay.
Right.
I think, yeah, we're probably assuming the same formation we had before, which is relatively spaced out with Jonny and me on the flanks, more forward, and Larry is in the center, a bit more behind, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Alright, the three all space out and take that formation and start walking. There are fewer doors on either side of this hallway, but there are some. Do you guys stop to look in any of them, or only if you find a big one like the cafeteria and that sort of garden area was? Or do you just walk until something else gets your attention, like the noise?
You guys tell me what you think, but I kind of feel like the first thing we need to find is some indication of what sector of this ring we're in. And I'm going to ignore...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Like, I want to find some markings.
Yeah, I don't really want to be branching off at the moment until we find out what sector we're in. But if we walk for a decent while and we don't see anything, we might need to go into one of the rooms
just to find something. Yeah.
All right. In that case, you guys start marching for a little while. While you're walking, are any of you keeping your ear out or eye out for like an ambush, or are you guys just trying to make, as quick pace as you can?
I think it's reasonable to say that since I'm the one in the rear, I'm not slowing down, but I have like half attention going on front and back.
Sounds good to me.
I think at this
In
point...
the rear, not necessarily with the gear, but with the ear.
With the ear.
Advantage.
I think at this point I am focusing entirely on sound, because that was my experience, and I am so focused on hearing that I might not see something if it was right in front of me, for instance.
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to listen out for any creaking, groaning noises, etc. that sound like what Billy heard before.
Okay. Tanom and Harry, let me get a straight roll from both of you. Pem, we're gonna do something weird. I want you to roll 3 dice, and whatever modifier you want, and then take the higher 2 for your hearing and the lower 2 for your vision. Sound good?
Yes, I am not going to try to command that. I will just roll 3d10 and we can sort it out.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Also, Larry in the rear with the ear plugs, apparently.
Can you give me any indication of what kind of modifier I'd be looking at here?
Caution, acumen, maybe even precision.
I did a caution roll
Caution.
because I feel like being cautious and listening out is.
Oh, I thought it was a straight up roll.
Oh, sorry, no, I meant with a mod.
Oh, then
straight up rolls
it
in, like,
would be a 3.
no.
Then. I got a partial part of my earplug off.
There we go.
Okay, so I got a 10, 2, and 2, and I'm subtracting 1 from whatever the
All right, so
eventual score is.
11 for hearing, 3 for vision, which sounds right. As you said, you're so focused on what you're listening to. But with that 11 for your hearing, that does give you the highest roll. So you're paying attention to this the best. You're the one who heard it the first time, so if you hear it again, you will certainly be the most likely to recognize it. And as you guys are going, every little noise sort of sets you on edge, Billy. Just because you're expecting it to turn into that creak that you heard.
Yes.
Tanom, Larry doesn't hear shit.
No.
And Pem, Billy doesn't see shit. But Harry and Pem, as the two of you are listening in, you hear, like I said, the sort of just long, distant groans of the space station. You suspect that it might sound like the ancient stories told of whale song. You know, this distant, ominous noise that you can't see the origin of. But both of you do end up hearing, above you again, a very distinct creak. It's shorter and sharper than the moans of mechanics. Do either of y'all
I without even realizing what I'm doing, I just look straight up at the ceiling and fire my service pistol into the ceiling.
Shit?
The loud, long groans of the station are totally disrupted by this immense, intense, and unexpected bang and the sound of like ricocheting metal as Billy fires just straight up from you guys.
Whoa.
Larry is just confused and dazed.
Did you fucking hear that though? Did you hear that?
Dude, I
Yeah.
just heard you shoot. What the hell?
God damn it.
I thought I heard a creak, but I don't know. With you shooting, they kind of put everything off.
Yeah. You're right. You know what? I'm just gonna holster this weapon. It's a bad idea to shoot in a fucking space station. I don't know what I was thinking. But I swear to God, the exact same sound I heard it again. Right above us.
Yeah.
Is there
As-
the ceiling that we're like the ceiling of the space we're in? Is it possible that there are panels that something could be moving behind? Like, is it a false ceiling or does it seem like a solid thing?
Judging just by your shot, it does sound like there is sort of gap room between the hall and like sort of like the guts in Prey, like the sort of
Yeah.
rear region. That there's probably some distant like command center for all that stuff that then spreads between the walls and ceilings through the rest of the ship.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Is it something that we could, like, if I stood on Johnny's shoulders, is it something I could move a panel aside and get access to, or is it something we need to find a hatch for?
Yeah, the panels seem like they are all sort of, you know, like fully bonded together. You'd either need to cut through or find a hatch, yeah.
Okay.
But before that, though, as you guys finish the brief conversation you had after Billy fired, and your ears all get back to normal after that, you hear a single, like, distant whimper and definite footsteps running away from you guys.
I fucking
Also
hit it!
above you.
Got it!
So the bullet did penetrate the ceiling then.
Yeah.
I think I'm perhaps feeling so guilty that I fucking panic fired my firearm that I'm actually like very, very excited that maybe I did something right and hit whatever the fuck it was that was following us.
Alright. Well, that's probably not a bad thing. Well, don't know.
Who knows?
If it's following us in the roof, I feel like it's not a good thing. That's my gut instinct.
Yeah.
Normal people don't crawl around in the roof and follow people around.
Max, you said when we heard it retreating, it sounded like footsteps?
Yeah, it sounded, like a person running, basically.
Okay, so it didn't sound like something like a creature crawling through some duct or something.
No, yeah, it was definite regular footfall. It was fast, maybe too fast to tell if it was on 2 or 4 limbs, but not, like hooves or the slither of a snake or anything,
right.
really outlandish like that.
Could we tell the direction it was running?
The opposite direction you guys have been traveling, so it's going back over the route you've been so far.
Okay, so it's retreating behind us, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And we still don't see any markings in the corridor about where we are on this ring?
Not here.
Oh, I think keep your gun at the ready there, Billy. And let's keep going, because I don't want to be just standing around, because if that thing comes back, it's going to come back with a vengeance now that it's been shot.
I mean, I kind of think that since it's on the run, we should go try to track it down.
You reckon go chase it down?
Have we seen, to this point, in the station or in the main shaft or in this ring, any access panels that would allow us to get to that kind of gutsy type section?
You have not.
Behind the walls? Okay. I mean, I am in favor of like going to find this thing because I'm pretty sure I fucking hit it, which I'm pretty proud of. But if we can't actually get to the space that it's in, what are we going to accomplish, right?
Yeah, you're right. Well, yeah. Yeah, we
Does
should
it
probably.
sound like it hit it
At the same time, I don't know if we're gonna find any kind of like symbol out here in the corridor that's gonna tell us where we are.
Yeah, we got to duck into a room or something.
Yeah. Does it sound like what was on the roof ran back along the corridor, or does it sound like it kind of doesn't care about the walls and stuff as we see it, and it ran, essentially through a wall to put it in another way?
Good question. Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It did sound like it stayed on the sort of path of the ring.
Okay. All right.
That is a good question, Harry.
Yeah.
That was a very good question.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd say we duck into one of these rooms, see if we can find something that will actually tell us where we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I might be a bit more cautious going into the rooms now after my ear bleed from earlier.
That's understandable. I'm feeling like firing my service weapon was so useful that I'm ready to I'm ready to do it again in a moment's notice. That thing got results. Something actually happened.
Yeah.
Are there doors near where we are?
There are, like I said, they are less regular, so you have to walk a little bit to get to one, but you do find one. Looks like it's unlocked and unbarricaded on your end.
Well, do we want to... It's reaching the top of the hour for our ending time. Do we want to pause it here, and the next time that we play, we get in this room and try to figure out where we are?
Sounds good to me.
Yep, sounds good.
Yep. All right.
Okay.